Hi everyone, I wanted to welcome you to yet another video, another Zoom interview video with Brian Gregory, one of our former past presidents of PMI Rochester. Brian, thank you so much for joining us. My understanding is that your term for our PMI Rochester was from 2013 to 2016. That's 3 years of presidency. As part of our 35th year celebration for PMI Rochester, I'm going back and interviewing many of the past presidents, and you are one of them. Thank you so much for saying yes. I really appreciate that, and we all appreciate that. We're learning so much through these interviews. And I want to go ahead and just start off with, I think that the most general question, but one of the most interest is, how did you get there? What was your journey like to getting to the presidency? How did you find out about PMI Rochester?
Okay, well, I'll take you way back farther than that. I've got my undergraduate degree in electrical engineering. So I was an electrical engineer for a RV company first and then a truck company. And I found out I was a very good dome light specialist. I could really design that dome light, but I didn't understand the whole vehicle. So in around 96, I was introduced to the world of project management by getting into a program at a truck company, Navistar International. And since then, it's just been a growing passion of mine around project management. The first chapter I joined was the Fort Wayne, Indiana chapter, and that was back in about 98. But the chapter really didn't do anything, so I kind of joined and I was there, but nothing happened. Through a roundabout, I got to Rochester, New York, started becoming involved with the local PM community, and I heard about PMI Rochester, and I thought, if I'm going to make a difference in the community, I need to make a difference with PMI. And so I joined the PMI chapter and started out as a director of certification and recertification, and went in to be the executive VP, which is similar to our president-elect today, but it's executive VP. And then I moved into the president's term in 2013.
When did you start with the PMI Rochester chapter?
In 2011.
Wow, and what brought you back to Rochester from? Are you from here?
No, I'm actually from the Flint, Michigan area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I came out here for work. I lived in the Indiana, Ohio area and had an opportunity up in Eriskin by Rome, and took the opportunity, came to upstate New York, and I've not left.
That tends to be what happens with folks here. I'm also not from here, so I'm here now, and I'm here for good with 2 little ones. That's fantastic. So from 2011 to in 2013, within just a few short years, you're the president.
Yes.
You were really, really bent on making a difference.
I was.
What were some of those differences you wanted to make?
Excuse me. What I wanted to try to do is bring project manager to a bigger audience. Our chapter grew, and it grew to a position where we had a good routine we were in. We were meeting in a constant location. We had a good, consistent group of people meeting. But one of the feedback items I heard from the community was, if you're in the city, it's hard to get to the suburbs. If you're in the suburbs, it's hard to get to the city. And then I recognized we had a large number of unemployed or underemployed project managers in the area that couldn't afford the more expensive dinner meetings. So one of the things I wanted to do was bring the dinner meetings to the masses. And so what we did first is we started to vary the locations. So 1 month would be in downtown, 1 month would be in the suburbs. And then we would have some that were $25 a meeting, which were seated meals. And then we'd have a $5 meeting, which was subs and chips. So by doing that, we had an opportunity to bring a lot more people from our project management community into the chapter, which helped our membership grow, but also helped spread project management discipline throughout the community.
Okay, so when you say throughout the community, you're talking about the PMI Rochester membership community.
Not just the membership, but there were people who were interested in PMI but hadn't joined because they didn't have full access. So part of what I was trying to do was give more access so we get more people in the fold.
And how do you feel that turned out? How did that grow the membership ranks?
I think it worked well. We were about 375, I believe, when I started as president, and when I left, we were over 500.
Wow. I think we're over 600 now, right?
Over 900 now. Or
900.
Around 900 right now. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Something I should have known. That is fantastic. And just the idea of understanding logistics, understanding that, folks have different needs, different use cases, logistics. How do we encourage folks to get to chapter meetings? And now in the wake of COVID, where everything is really becoming like this Zoom interview, it's not in person, it is over Zoom. Are we, how do we take a look at also doing outreach to our members and members that are soon to be future members, through video and reaching out to them in those ways, because we can't really, travel and engage in large group activities.
Right.
What do
So,
you, go ahead.
so I think what helped us out with that is in the recent past, we started to go more towards video or virtual chapter meetings. And that's because we have a sizable chunk of our membership down in Ithaca. So that way, Ithaca could get good speakers, and the PMI Rochester members in Rochester could join the meetings. And then in Rochester, we'd have a good speaker, and the Ithaca folks could join. So we had already started that foundation of virtual meetings. So now that COVID's hit, we've got a foundation to start with, and we've been experimenting with different ways to engage people using Zoom as a platform for our meetings.
Why don't you share with the audience right now what your current role is with PMI Rochester?
I'm currently the VP of Governance.
Okay.
I handle all the back office things at the unglorious parts of being a chapter, if you will, the bylaws, the operations manual, the nuts and bolts. One of my goals as being a VP of Governance is to make it the sexy portfolio, because everybody kind of downplays governance. No, I'm going to make it the forefront. So we've got some exciting opportunities we're going to be pursuing in the next year that will hopefully bring governance out of the back office into the forefront of the chapter.
That's fantastic. Is there anything that you can share with the audience now, or you want to surprise us?
One initiative that we were going to take on until the COVID hit was, we're calling it building the bridge. So we have a community of business analysts in the area, and
Yes.
they are underserved right now with not having a professional organization that's organized and fully operational. So what we would like to do is we would like to partner with BAs and bring business analysts together with project managers and build that bridge and kind of build a bigger foundation of understanding between what a project manager does, what a BA does, and help build those relationships going forward.
Absolutely. Especially as I've noticed in the variety of workspaces that I have been in, that the definition of a BA can be very different. There seems to be the same underlying principles and kind of outline for the role, but often, depending on where BAs or business analysts are positioned within the company, the role could be incredibly technical or just supporting the business in very high requirements. And so it's understanding all the different evolutions of that role, depending on the company that you're in as well. That would be incredibly useful for me, even, and I'm sure for many folks.
And from my standpoint, I've never worked in a position where I had a BA. So when I talk to a business analyst, it's a new experience to me because I've not worked with business analysts in my past. So it's a good bridging the gap of relationships and knowledge.
So when you were going from the dome light to the entire car, there was no BA there?
No. My experience has been in product development. So a lot of times the product requirements are gathered by the product managers. And the engineers will distill it down. So we really didn't have business analysts to do the upfront work of requirements. It was all done with the project team and the product managers.
Gotcha. Okay.